two huge things that in this game particularly, Anthony Davis had all sorts of issues. Went 4 of 15 from the field. He ends up with 18 points because he gets to the line 11 times, but this was not an Anthony Davis game. And obviously Jamal Murray goes off later in this game, goes for 37, and he just got scalding hot. Part of it I thought was, frankly, maybe this is where we'll get into the tape, and now we'll break down a little bit of tape. I think the Lakers have left a lot on the table in the series defensively. But again, when you leave stuff on the table defensively against the Nuggets, there is no team in the NBA better positioned to exploit what you leave on the table than the Denver Nuggets. And that's because of Jokic. So let's kind of jump into the tape here and talk about why I do think the Nuggets have been incredibly impactful and impressive in this series, but also some of the things the Lakers are doing poorly. I can pinpoint, I think, 3 things defensively that are causing the Lakers real issues. So I think first, there have been some just real communication flaws throughout the course of this series, and that's a significant concern for the Lakers moving forward. They have to clean up their communication in exchanges. I do wonder if at times that actually leads into the second issue, which for me is that I think they're giving up switches a little bit too easily at times. It's very hard to switch on the Nuggets because of Jokic's ability to take you onto the block and just absolutely crush you. If you switch against Jokic, even with Anthony Davis on the weak side, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard to be impactful in that way. The last thing is that the Lakers' transition defense has been very poor. And we'll talk about that. Tonight, they gave up, I think, 22 fast break points. It's not like a crazy number, but to me, it feels like a lot of their issues are real just execution problems and also strategy problems where I don't know why Darvin Ham is crashing the offensive glass with 1 to 2 guys every single time in the way that he is, but it's creating real man advantage situations for the Denver Nuggets. And anytime that they have a man advantage, they're going to go. So let's talk about this here. So Aaron Gordon, we're at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. Aaron Gordon has the ball at the left elbow. This is just going to be a classic Denver Nuggets kind of flex offense set. You're going to see that Jokic is going to set a screen. Michael Porter is going to flex cut baseline. That is a classic flex offense staple. And then Jokic is going to come up to the top of the key and catch the ball. And what you're going to see here is just the smallest little hesitation from LeBron James. He just gets caught looking at the ball and ball watching for a split second. It's not, I don't even think this is bad defense from LeBron. He's just following the ball to see who it's going to. And in that moment, he probably gets a little bit high in his stance. I don't know if he thought there was a dribble handoff maybe coming to Aaron Gordon. If you look at where his feet are, his left foot is actually above where Aaron Gordon's is on the court, which almost makes me think he's trying to deny a dribble handoff. I don't know if maybe he saw something in the tape, but as soon as Jokic sees this, Aaron Gordon cuts back door and Jokic just feeds him immediately. Again, I don't even think this is terrible defense totally from LeBron. It's just that Jokic is so smart that he sees that foot being just a little bit too high up the court. And at that point, it's curtains, and Aaron Gordon's athletic enough to beat him. Next play down is at the 9-minute mark of the first quarter. This is just a horn set here. They're going to bring the ball into Aaron Gordon again, left wing, flex cut out of the horn set to Michael Porter. And it's just an easy bucket for Michael Porter at the rim. So pay attention here again. The Lakers are not switching everything here. They're actually trying to fight through the actions, as you will see. And then additionally, they're making sure that with Jared Vanderbilt on the court, this was the big Lakers adjustment. They brought Jared Vanderbilt into the starting lineup. Jared Vanderbilt did a pretty good job on Jamal Murray in this game, I thought, defensively, but he just takes a lot off the court offensively for the Lakers, and it's hard to play him. This is just a slick little flex cut. AD does a pretty good job of kind of helping and then recovering out to Jokic. Again, it's literally the same set as last time, just about, where flex cut leads into Jokic curling off of this action from Jamal Murray. It's just a different read off of that action, right? Here, it would be very easy for Aaron Gordon just to throw this ball to Jokic. Jokic tries to make a play a different way. Maybe you get it back into a handoff series for Jamal Murray. Maybe you see that Michael Porter Jr. has D'Angelo Russell sealed high and you throw it that way. Here, though, this is just not good enough from D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell has not been good in this series. He went 3 for 8 from the field, but honestly, he was better on offense than he was on defense tonight, which is terrifying if you're a Lakers supporter. They need to find an answer for D'Angelo Russell. And the reason I put this clip in is because I wanted to showcase something there about Russell. It's going to get worse throughout the course of this. This is the next piece of what's happening here. This isn't really because they're crashing too many guys, but what you're going to see here is something that's happened throughout the course of this series way too often. And it's that Nikola Jokic isn't just beating Anthony Davis down the floor. He's beating him by leaps and bounds down the floor a lot of the time. Anthony Davis, I would bet you, is still at the baseline in this clip. And Nikola Jokic is all the way to the three-point line. It's just such a significant odd man advantage, again, for a guy that's a supercomputer at processing basketball. So here, D'Angelo Russell steps up to try and stop Nikola Jokic because Anthony Davis is just way behind the play. And now you've left Austin Reeves, because of this, and because of how the Nuggets spread to the three-point line every time in transition, you've left Austin Reeves in a 1-on-2. And Austin Reeves has to at least respect the fact that Bruce Brown is attacking. If Bruce Brown just stays behind the three-point line, I would bet you that Reeves just rotates and allows LeBron to probably rotate over, and then they play help and hope Anthony Davis recovers. But because Bruce Brown presses the issue there and attacks Austin Reeves briefly, he forces Austin to engage him. And that just sets up a circumstance where Jamal Murray's wide open from the corner for three. This is going to be in almost every single time. Wide open three for Jamal Murray. Again, though, to me, it's because Anthony Davis is way behind the play. I mean, the ball is like at the opposing team's free throw line, and Anthony Davis is still not beyond half court at this point, as you can see. He's just now getting in when the ball goes up from the deep corner. Anthony Davis, the fact that Jokic is beating Anthony Davis down the court, creating these odd man situations, it's a killer for the Lakers right now. That's one where he just missed an alley-oop, and that will happen sometimes. But he needs to do better on some of these other ones that we're going to showcase here. This one is an example of what's kind of happening when the Nuggets get these easy switches, right? So Jared Vanderbilt here is guarding Jamal Murray. And as you can see, Anthony Davis is on Nikola Jokic. Jamal Murray sets this little rub screen for Jokic to go down onto the block. Anthony Davis is there and help. And because it's the same side help, it's an easy kick out to Jamal Murray, which results in a real rotation. Anthony Davis has to go and recover onto LeBron's man, who is Aaron Gordon in this case. Aaron Gordon goes to the weak side now, which sets up this very easy post up against Jared Vanderbilt. Again, this is because of this easy switch that they gave up. You can't have Jared Vanderbilt on the court guarding Nikola Jokic. He's good against Jamal Murray. He's good at making sure that Jamal's life is harder, but he's not strong enough through his lower half to be able to stop Jokic from getting deep on the block. So here, Jokic just backs him down. He gets him all the way inside the block here. And this is just an easy drop step for Jokic and finish. They're switching too easily, I think. I really do think the Lakers are switching too easily. They didn't do it a lot later, and that's what you'll probably see, although I don't know how many plays I got from later on. Again, another horn set here. This one comes out to Jamal Murray, and this is where we start getting into communication errors for the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron is on Jamal Murray, and eventually Jokic is going to come up and set a screen. They both go toward the ball. Why do both LeBron and Anthony Davis both go toward the ball when LeBron actually goes under this screen action originally? This is not a blitz. This is not like a circumstance where they're trying to get the ball out of Jamal Murray's hands in order to leave Nikola Jokic wide open or force a rotation. I think what happens is that Anthony Davis gets a little bit too concerned here after being too deep defensively in the Jamal Murray pull-up. But it leads to a significant communication error where there are two on the ball here, nobody rotating over, and Nikola Jokic, an easy layup. That's an easy shot for Nikola Jokic. This is just a real communication error here in terms of coverages for the Lakers. It felt like LeBron and Anthony Davis there confused the coverage in terms of what they wanted to run. Next play down. Aaron Gordon bringing the ball up the court. Little rub screen for Jamal Murray there. And then you're going to see the little exchange after that rub screen where Jared Vanderbilt falls down. So Vanderbilt falls here. He's down. Jamal Murray goes to come back up for the dribble handoff, right? And again, it feels like Vanderbilt and LeBron both go to Aaron Gordon here. Instead of someone trying to fight over the top of this dribble handoff or going under the dribble handoff to contest Jamal Murray. This is a communication error, and it leads to a wide open three from Jamal Murray again. There's just nobody there. You can see Anthony Davis's arms are up. He's wondering, wait, what happened? Where's the help here? Right? What's going on? This one is just a communication error in transition. Right? So here, Jeff Green, nobody picks up Jeff Green. Why does nobody pick up Jeff Green? What you'll see is that because Jokic is running the court as hard as he is, beating Anthony Davis down the court, Rui's man is Jokic. They want to make sure someone is attached to Jokic at all times, right? Because of that, Rui is late getting there to try and stop the ball. And once you get Jeff Green downhill, Jeff Green's older. He's still able to jump, and he is still able to get up off the ground and throw down in transition. Again, these are communication errors. Someone's got to pick up Jeff Green on the ball. Here we go. This is a miss from Dennis Schroeder. What you're going to see here, Jamal Murray eventually going to get the ball in semi-transition. And nobody picks up Jamal Murray. Rui eventually realizes that somebody has to. But Jamal doesn't have the ball yet. He just gets it here. And what you're going to see is Rui is saying to Dennis Schroeder, you have to go and pick up the ball. You can see Rui pointing over to Jamal Murray. D'Angelo Russell is pointing now to Dennis Schroeder. You have to go pick up the ball. Jamal realizes this. You can see that he really speeds up. He gets some bend and just says, okay, I'm going to go. Rui thinks that, okay, nobody's picking up the ball. I have to go pick up the ball or else he's just going to walk into a three. But because he does that, and because Nikola Jokic is beating Anthony Davis down the court every single time, this is the 1 minute mark of the first quarter. Rui has to leave Jokic, and you leave Jokic wide open at the basket, and you're forcing Lonnie Walker to try and rotate over and pray. That's just not going to work defensively. These are sloppy errors from the Los Angeles Lakers. I see here that Swaggy D in the comments on YouTube says the first and second quarters don't matter as much. Fast forward to the third and fourth. I completely disagree. The Lakers should have been winning this game in the first quarter by 8 or 9, I thought. I thought they outplayed the Nuggets in the first quarter of this game. But because of these sloppy errors in transition, because of these sloppy errors in communication in the half court, it ended up being a circumstance where they didn't get out to a big enough lead early. And because of that, the Nuggets were able to come back into this game and fire. That's why, to me, this stuff matters. I don't really think that you can really argue with that. Like, as John E says in the comments here, the Nuggets were lucky in the first half and happy to be down by 5. I completely agree. I didn't think the Nuggets played all that well in the first half. So here now we're at 5 minute mark in the second. The Lakers are up 11. You're going to see here, this is again just Rui Hachimura is not a good matchup for Nikola Jokic. This was the big talking point after the first game, right? Rui, he's able to stop Nikola Jokic. No, he's not. This is not something that's going to work, right? We need to acknowledge that this is not something that's going to work. The idea behind it is not terrible. The idea behind it is that if you put Rui, who's a bigger, stronger body, onto Nikola Jokic, you can use Anthony Davis to come over from the weak side. And to help later, because of Anthony Davis's length, he can stay attached to his man and be late and help and still contest. It's just not going to work to be able to do this. Look at how quickly, typically Nikola Jokic is somebody that's going to survey and he's going to see, he's going to let KCP cut through the play. He's going to let Jamal Murray maybe go set backside pin down, and so that Aaron Gordon can come up. Not here. He sees Rui on him. He's going to go pretty quick as soon as KCP clears the lane. As soon as he clears, he's gone. And it's just, this is not a good matchup. Now, what the Lakers did in the second half is they put LeBron on him. I think LeBron's a better matchup. LeBron's strong enough. He's physical. Frankly, I thought what Bill Simmons said on Twitter tonight, that the refs don't really want to call fouls on LeBron. I think that's pretty fair and accurate to an extent. That's their matchup, I think. If you don't want to put Anthony Davis on Nikola Jokic, that's what you have to do. I think you put LeBron on him. Here, you're going to see Anthony Davis go up. And Anthony Davis falling on the ground is a significant problem in this series. Again, because all it's going to do is it's going to set up a circumstance where the Nuggets get a 5-on-4 because Jokic is leading the break. And when the center can lead the break as quickly as he can, you're getting the ball down the court so fast. You even stop the ball here in a pretty reasonable way with D'Angelo Russell. But again, you set up a 1-on-2 on the backside where Lonnie Walker is covering 2 guys, and that's just not a great sustainable outcome. Here we go, 4:30 mark of the second quarter now. What you're going to see here is just a classic Nikola Jokic post, leads to a Bruce Brown cut. Again, LeBron has been involved in a few of these miscommunication issues. I don't think LeBron has been awesome defensively in this series. He's been good. He's taken on some tough assignments, having to guard Jokic, having to deal in space with Jamal Murray. But what you're going to see here on the backside, particularly, LeBron is on Bruce Brown here. He's still on Bruce Brown. They eventually, you're going to see what I think LeBron may have thought was an exchange between Bruce Brown and KCP, maybe. I'm not totally sure why. Maybe LeBron is communicating with D'Angelo Russell saying, hey, I want to be the low man on this possession. Switch, right? There has to be some sort of communication there. Eventually, D'Angelo comes up to Bruce Brown there. And it looks like it's hard to say what their plan is because D'Angelo is coming up here, not because LeBron wants to be the low man, but because KCP is kind of moving up and he sees it. And LeBron's just kind of ball watching. He just totally loses track of Bruce Brown here. I don't know whether to call that like a miscommunication with him and D'Angelo Russell, maybe where LeBron thought they were switching, or if LeBron was just ball watching. But he just gets face cut here, and it's a real problem. It's a real, these communication issues or these little off like backside switches or these exchanges that LeBron is involved in. He needs to clean it up a little bit because Jokic will kill you every single time you make a mistake. So here, again, I mentioned earlier that the Lakers are just crashing the glass so aggressively. This is an attempt by Dennis Schroeder. He falls. Rui, instead of getting back in transition defense, decides to crash the offensive glass. And now we're at a point where this is, what do you want to call this? Like a 4-on-2, 4-on-3 circumstance where look where Rui and Dennis Schroeder are. And again, because Anthony Davis has to stop the ball, he has to leave Aaron Gordon here. Aaron Gordon gets the ball. It's an easy dunk for someone that's that athletic. Now we're at the 11-minute mark of the third quarter. Empty side ball screen. Jamal Murray gets Anthony Davis on him. They get this switch with Jared Vanderbilt. As soon as Jokic sees Jared Vanderbilt on him, he knows that he can post. He knows that he's going to have no problem getting all the way to the basket. Posts him, bullies him all the way there. Easy bucket. Jokic here. This feels like kind of a switch that just comes too early. If you look, Anthony Davis is picking up Nikola Jokic, and instead they just decide to switch this action for reasons beyond my comprehension. I don't know why they went towards switching the Nuggets. That's a very strange choice in my opinion. And now you just have this circumstance where D'Angelo Russell is going to have to guard Nikola Jokic on the block. That forces LeBron to come up off of Aaron Gordon here and help. I don't really blame LeBron for this one. I think this is the right call. Once you see that Jokic is going to the block against D'Angelo Russell, you have to go and aggressively try and stop that from happening. He does that. He gets his hands up. He tries to stop the pass to the cutter, which is Aaron Gordon. I think that he knows where Jokic is going there. It's just that Jokic can execute that pass too easily, and it puts a little too much pressure on Austin Reeves as the backside tagger there and the help man that's helping the helper. Here we go again, 6:40, third quarter. Early screen. Jamal Murray being guarded by Jared Vanderbilt. Early screen action. They auto switch it. Again, I don't know why. If you're going to have Jared Vanderbilt on the court, you can't auto switch that screening action. He is not strong enough to deal with Nikola Jokic. And this is just LeBron kind of getting driven by Jamal Murray because they auto switch that action. LeBron on Jamal Murray is not a good matchup. Jared Vanderbilt on Nikola Jokic is not a good matchup. You can't just auto switch these things. I don't know why the Lakers are auto switching in the way that they are. Easy bucket for Jamal Murray. Now 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Again, you will see missed layup. Two guys crash the glass. Jokic, great defensive rebounder, grabs, goes, leads the break, beats Anthony Davis down the court. Because he's beating Anthony Davis down the court, Austin Reeves has to come toward the middle of the court in order to try and stop the ball. Comes off of Michael Porter Jr., leads to a wide open three again for Porter. It's kind of just simple stuff for the Lakers. They can clean this up. That's why I don't think the Lakers are out of this series by any stretch. These are things that they can clean up, in my opinion. It's just kind of a mess right now. And this is just some awesome stuff here where Jokic hits this cross corner kick so quickly that he forces AD and Austin Reeves into this recovery circumstance where they both have to kind of fly toward the ball and everything. And now we've got Aaron Gordon on Austin Reeves. I love Austin Reeves as a player. I think he's a pretty underrated defender. But because you have this switch, Austin can deal with Michael Porter Jr. because Michael Porter Jr. doesn't use his height and athleticism like someone who is 6'10" and athletic typically does. He likes to just kind of hang out on the perimeter a little bit more than he should. Aaron Gordon's going to put Austin Reeves in the basket, as you're going to see here. Look at how far back Austin Reeves flies when Aaron Gordon makes contact with him. Goes from the dotted half circle all the way back to that semicircle in the restricted area. And he just gets completely blown off the play. This is awesome from Denver. This is just awesome stuff. In here with 2 minutes left in the third now, Jokic. As you can see, they're no longer kind of auto switching this. They're having Schroeder fight over the top. And I just don't think LeBron is active enough in drop here, to be honest. I liked the adjustment, but LeBron's going to have to be a little bit more active in drop. And you can't let Jamal Murray just kind of hop into a wide open mid-range jumper. This is now with 10 minutes left in the fourth. Nikola Jokic. Again, they have the on-ball defender fight over the top. You have LeBron in drop. Lonnie does get back. He gets the backside contest. It's just kind of, he needs to be willing to try and contest that shot, I think, from Jamal. I get that teams are okay with mid-range jumpers. I don't think you can be this okay with mid-range jumpers. And now, especially from Jamal Murray, now 5-minute mark of the fourth. Another empty side action between Bruce Brown and Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic still being guarded by LeBron. Jamal Murray's going to come up. He's going to set this little backside action here with Aaron Gordon to potentially cut back door. They switch it with Anthony Davis and Rui because Rui is just a little bit too late here. I don't know why Rui is not attached to Jamal Murray in this circumstance. He's sagging off a little bit too far. And because he's sagging off too far, it ends up having to be a switch. Anthony Davis is forced into a switch. And then that becomes a switch because you just kind of have to at that point. And the end result is an open three where Jamal Murray walks into it. There are just these little things that the Lakers can clean up. It's not a lot. It's not a crazy amount. It's just communication stuff. It's just like engagement stuff. I think the Lakers probably win game 3 if they come out with like the effort and aggression and intensity of having watched the film on this and understanding that we weren't that far behind the Nuggets in this game. We probably outplayed the Nuggets in the first half for sure and should have been up by way more than 5. And we probably hurt ourselves a little bit more than anything else. I think the Lakers probably win game 3. I think the Nuggets win the series is where I'm at. The Nuggets are playing exceptionally well. I think the Nuggets, again, are built to take advantage of any singular small mistake that you make because Jokic is so good and because their ball movement is so good. Their ball movement puts a lot of pressure on defenses. I thought that their physicality, the Lakers' physicality early in this game was pretty good. I thought Jared Vanderbilt did bring something early in the game to try to slow down Jamal Murray and try to force him into tougher spots. I probably would have gone back to that at a certain point. I think that would have been smart to go back to Jared Vanderbilt a little bit later in this game, especially when Jamal Murray got smoking hot. I think you probably had to. But they didn't.